Hot. I am Ray, and I've got good news, and I've got bad news. The good news is there is no bad news, and the bad news is, well, there's no good news. I just revealed the secret to life. Did you catch it? It's okay, me neither. So let me explain. Now I must warn you, if you're on the more sensitive side, be wary of watching these videos. Because once you see, you can't unsee. And I may just shatter the foundation of your entire life. Boobs. No, we have to get serious. You see, everything in life is a changing experience. Just think about it for a moment. When you were in your mother's womb, that was a changing experience. And you were born, another changing experience. Then you grow up, live your life, another infinite array of changing experiences. Then you go to sleep at night. You go to the dream state, more changing experiences. And then finally, you fall into deep sleep, another changing experience. You wake up, more change. A hobo's dream. Everything is a changing experience. But what causes all our misery in this life is that we judge our changing experiences as good or as bad. This should not be happening. This should be happening. And that, well, is the source of all our problems and our troubles and our struggles. When one says, the good news is there is no bad news, it's that all the suffering, all the tragedy, all the nightmare of life, changing experience. And when one says, well, there is no bad news, is that right? Oh, the bad news is there is no good news, because all the good stuff is too a changing experience. And so what do we do about this? You see, some people might get nihilistic and say, oh, well, if everything's a changing experience, why does anything matter? Why not just be evil? Or why try to make anything better? But you would be missing the point. Once you understand, not just from philosophical, intellectual ways, but from experiential ways. That was poorly phrased, okay. Get it together. Once you realize that everything is a changing experience, from your direct seeing, not just from understanding it intellectually, you become free because you begin to disidentify with your changing experiences. You begin to stop labeling them. Whereas, all human beings, they're attached to their changing experience because they judge and label them. And so they get pulled all over the place, up and down, their whole life. And that is called the wheel of samsara. Samsara is like a great and barren desert with only pools of salt water. You go and drink some salt water, tasty, and then you just get more thirsty because there's salt in it. So too, the world as samsara brings you no lasting satisfaction, no matter what you do. You try to go and strive for the best things. They're just temporary pleasures. Everything in the world is temporary. You cannot find lasting satisfaction in a temporary, ever-changing world. So what you are looking for is not in your changing experiences. But you are the source of what you seek. Because if everything is a changing experience, what is the one thing that is not changing? What is the one common denominator behind all of your changing experience? Answer me this. The answer is you. Did you not know this? There you are, a little sad, because you did not know this. You are the ever-present, silent awareness behind all your experiences. Unchanging. And what is unchanging? That which is unchanging is eternal. So that is your true nature. You're eternal. Congratulations. You don't die, ever. You are immortal. You are beyond death. Let's turn that frown upside down. And much worse. Here you are. You see, recognizing this is called awakening or enlightenment. And what this allows you to do, it allows you to be free from your changing experiences. So, doesn't matter what bad happens, doesn't matter what good happens, doesn't matter what happens at all. It's all the same thing. Everything is a changing experience. But then you live from the true knowing, without a shadow of a doubt, that what you are in truth is eternal. And guess what? Now you can actually play the game of life how it was meant to be played. Otherwise, guess what? Everybody is living their life from this animalistic body. Animalistic consciousness, which means our whole life is spent pursuing pleasure and avoiding pain. Trying to extract joy from our changing experiences. Here's one way I like to look at it. Imagine a video game. In the video game, you can level up your character and you can be the best. Get all the nice stuff, conquer the whole game. But at the end of the day, as the character in the game, you are bound by the confines of the system. You turn off the TV, oh, you're dead, you're gone. And that's the thing. Most people live their life believing they are the characters in the video game. And life is that video game. But what I'm saying is that, well, you're not the character in the game. You are the one behind the screen with the controller in your hands. Meaning, if you live your life from being the character, you're always going to be afraid that at any moment the TV could be turned off. And then you're gone for all eternity. Back to the void for you. But once you realize that you're actually behind the screen, there is no death. There is only the death of the character. There is only changing experiences. Now imagine how much differently you would live your life knowing this. It's like if right now I snap my fingers. Can't do it with this hand, but just imagine. Are you judging me? My apologies. Just imagine. I snap my fingers and we teleported to another realm. Well, and you slowly took off a VR headset. And me and you, I said, look around. Look it. And you saw in this big room every other human being alive also wearing a VR headset. And then I said, back we go. And then you put back on the VR headset and then bam, here you are again. How would that change the way you live your life? Now just a word of advice. Don't go telling people about it. Or else I'll get on the swords. I know where you live. I'm psychic. Nobody's gonna believe you anyway. And that is why, well, it's often told to people, don't talk about this kind of stuff. Because, nobody's gonna get it. They're just gonna think you're crazy. And you see, most people give up on life. They give up on their dreams. Because they have fear. Fear of whatever. It doesn't even matter. But once you realize that, once you realize that you're eternal, well, there's nothing to fear. Death is just another changing experience. Nothing to worry about. And you see, it's not correct to be so detached from your changing experiences because it's the same thing as indulging in the world unconsciously. But the balance, the key, is to be in the world but not of the world. To enjoy every changing experience no matter what happens. Like a movie. There are good parts of the movie. There are sad parts. There are angry parts. Violent parts. All of it is enjoyed. By you. But when you believe you're the actor in the movie, or the actual character experiencing the movie, well then that's a big difference of your experience. If you feel, oh, this is really happening to me right now, you're going to feel terrible. It's like King Kong or the T-Rex. T-Rex, you're watching Jurassic Park. The T-Rex is chasing you and you're about to get eaten. Oh no. But once you kind of just snap out of it and remember, oh wait, I'm in the movie theater. And there's no T-Rex. There's no you. There's no character. Now, if you haven't experienced an existential crisis just yet, there's no need to freak out. Nothing bad comes from this, unless we psychologically twist it in some kind of way and misinterpret it. The whole point in self-realization or awakening or enlightenment is to become free from suffering. Suffering which is created by our attachments to changing experiences. So it's not like we're running away from life, trying to avoid the world and people and things. We act and live from the state of everlasting freedom and peace, without fear. When you're just a character in the game, you're very limited. But when you're behind the screen, you have ultimate control and ultimate power. Because, well, have you ever thought of what is eternal? I mean, logically speaking, we know unchanging equals eternal. The great thing about this is it doesn't really require faith or belief. It's just a little bit of reasoning. But you see, that which is eternal is also that which is God. And that is your true nature. It is the divine essence of God that we all are. We're all the same. The whole universe, the whole existence itself, is just God experiencing itself through an infinite array of forms. And we are the forms. It's like God's entertainment, God's play. And you see, when you tap in to your God power, you have the ability to create any life that you desire, regardless of your circumstances. You are not limited by anything. And I mean anything, not even the laws of gravity. Now, don't go jumping off a building. Disclaimer, I'm going to need you to sign this waiver, actually. But that is why saints perform miracles. Because when you're a perfect vessel for the divine can work effortlessly through you. And you can do anything. You can do it. Here we are getting to the fundamental layer of reality. The true nature of things. Most of us live in a world of 10,000 things. There are things everywhere. Look, there's a thing, there's another thing, I'm a thing. And we name and judge those things. Give them meaning. But at the fundamental layer of everything, there are only two things. And ultimately only one. On the second layer of existence, it's just changing experiences. And there is just the eternal witness behind them all. But on the first layer of existence, it is all the same one divine intelligence. We are literally God experiencing God. That's all it is. It's just God's game of hide and seek. And we, as the forms, forget our true nature. We really believe, oh, I am this character, this is who I am. And we kill each other over it. Because if you disagree with me, that means I could be wrong. And I can't be having that. Monkey business. That's all it is. Don't be a monkey. Be free. There's bananas. You like bananas? Now, it's not up to me to bring you to this state. First of all, you're already there, but I'm just, the messenger. If you want to truly know this, there must be a strong desire. If you do not desire freedom, well, then you're not going to find it. You're not going to be motivated enough to search for it. And then you're just going to get pulled around for all eternity by your changing experiences. And let me tell you, it's infinite, it's eternal, never-ending changing experiences. You have to get tired of life. Or should I say, tired of being the character. As Jim Carrey once said, depression means deep rest. Deep rest. You have to be depressed because you need deep rest from this character you've been trying to play. That's the secret. You don't ever have to, get rid of yourself or lose your life. You only have to rid yourself of the illusion that you are this character. And most people don't experience that unless they go through a lot of suffering. But you don't got to. You don't. All you need is a strong desire to be at peace, to be free. And sometimes you need to go out into life and experience all the temporary pleasures. To eventually realize, still not satisfied. I need something more. I need more. This is more. What is more than eternal? Your whole existence, even previous incarnations. All that you have been looking for this whole time in life, all your desires, it was secretly yourself. That is the whole beauty of this game of life. We're lost, and we're looking for something we can't quite put our finger on. And then we go out into the world and experiment and try and then die. And eventually we come to the realization, finding our true selves. So go forth. Any spiritual saint will tell you, discovering this is the most important thing you will ever do in your life. Seek and you will find. I am Ray. Check out Mastermind Mastery, the step-by-step system I use to break free from the prison of my mind. Much peace and many blessings. And remember, I dropped the B. He's mad at me. Are you mad, B? I be mad. Just be.